We'll just ignore the hundreds of thousands of measurements.
Let's go on the simple.
Related to your
Give me the distance of the sun.
Distance to the sun. I'm not going to do Nathan Oakley's deadly
Go
acclamation.
on, have a go.
Right. What
Come and have a go if you think you're on.
These are acclamations, daily acclamations. So that Nathan Oakley and his disciples can affirm their belief every day to him. Every single day, religiously for the last few years. They say these every single day. And the other purpose of these is to shift the burden of proof from their stupid claim to basically that people in the streets who won't be able to produce evidence for all of these things.
Why not?
Well, most of these are because people are in the street and they shouldn't be able to. And drawing conclusions from the fact that they can't is just deluding yourself.
Their claim, so they can't prove their claim. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying if you come across people in the street and ask them this series of malformed questions, they are not going to be able to respond to them. And if you draw conclusions from the fact that they can't, then you are deluding yourself.
Can you give us answers to these questions?
I've told you, these are Nathan Oakley's daily acclamations, so that he and his disciples, including you, can affirm their belief to him, and they are they're a shifting of the burden of proof from your crazy crap to making me establish your thing to be true by me not being able to establish some factor of mine to be true.
So that's how you reconcile not being able to answer the questions to yourself, is it?
I didn't say I couldn't answer the questions. That's the other thing, you guys. That's the other delusion you have. There's multiple videos addressing these questions directly, and you guys just pretend they can't be answered. They're the magical questions that just can't be answered. They're not. They're just dumb questions.
Where are these answers?
That's it.
That's it. They're just dumb questions, guys.
I'll look them up, Cord. Show me these answers to all these questions that you said exist.
You can look them up.
Yeah,
look
show
up
me.
Nathan Oakley's housekeeping
No, I know
questions
about Nathan
debunked.
Oakley, but you
You'll
tell me the
find them.
answers. No,
You'll find them.
show me the answers to these you said.
How do I show that? How do I do
Tell me
show
where I
you?
find it.
How do I tell me how the process of show you? Tell me how the process of show you works.
So not showing someone is good enough proof, is it?
Well, how do I go about showing you?
You just said
when we stood in the street.
There are plenty of examples of answers for these
How
questions.
do I go about? Just answer my question.
No.
How do I go about showing you in the street?
Why are you shouting so angrily?
Because you're asking me to do stupid things that don't make sense.
Nicely. You're shouting.
And then I'm asking you about it. I'm asking you about it, and you're ignoring.
Why are you so angry? Why are you so angry? I'm not angry. It's hot today. Why be angry?
Because you
Come
say
on.
such delusional things.
Don't be so angry. It's such a waste of energy.
Okay.
Doesn't suit you.
So how would I go about showing you?
Yes, please do. Because you said there are answers for this.
What would that look like? How do I show it?
Lead me to the answers.
So you're asking me that. What? Do that now.
Show me to the coast.
Right.
Or a river.
You see,
or a
you're
canal.
asking me to do something that you don't reasonably
And
expect
you're asking
me
us to
actually
believe
do.
something that there's no proof for.
And you should wonder why you're having
That's the
to do
point,
that.
isn't it?
Sorry, if you can't show us now, sir, can I ask you a
I
question?
can prove to you that the earth is flat because I can show you a coastline. I have got a picture on my phone of Formby Beach. My friend did an experiment at the weekend, and he said showed from Formby Beach you could see Blackpool Tower in the background, in the very distance. If it was a globe, then you wouldn't be able to see Blackpool Tower.
Well, so you claim, but you're probably ignoring the fact that there's atmospheric refraction in order to make that claim.
Atmospheric refraction.
Well, if you don't know, there's a problem. There really is a big problem because you're making claims about things that you don't even have the basic understanding of.
Instead of saying that, why don't you explain? Because neither of us have a clue what you're on about.
The atmosphere has a tendency to bend the light towards the surface of the Earth. Not always, but it has a tendency to do that.
So given these tendencies and vagaries of light bending and so on.
It's not a vagary, it's a measurable effect
Well,
that
it can be different from
a
vagary.
measurable and predictable effect. It's not a vagary.
Okay, so you like measuring things.
I didn't say anything about what I liked to do.
Well, if we're going to measure curvature, because we say there's curvature.
Yes.
You, of course, being so animated about this, I assume you've gone and done an experiment yourself.
No.
You have not
No,
experimented.
your
with curvature.
epistemology demands that you go and prove things to yourself. My epistemology doesn't didn't say
the
that.
disclaimer,
I accept evidence from reputable, reasonable sources. If it's coherent, if it comports with other evidence, then I accept that evidence to be true. You do that too. You just pretend not to for this particular thing.
Have you ever had a bath?
You're not really listening to what I'm saying.
I am, but I've spoken to people in the street like you many times, and let me tell you that.
But why are you talking over what you're asking me a question? I'm answering your question, and you're doing it now. You're talking over my response.
I'm telling you that there is no curvature over water.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
So I'm offering you examples, sir, of examples where you can find water to be level in your glass, in your bath, in your pool, in your pond, in your lake.
You've never measured any of those.
I've measured all of these.
How would you do that? What method did you use to measure a glass?
You can see.
How did you measure the necessary accuracy in a glass? You
didn't.
What you did was you looked at it and guessed, and lo and behold, your guess confirmed your bias.
So water's not level, in your opinion. We speak English incorrectly.
Water is level, but water does curve around a sphere.
So can you demonstrate that claim?
Yes,
claim.
here in the street. Can I demonstrate
last
it
time
to
I
you?
pushed a sphere, it was a ball
Look, that's
into water,
a tactic.
The ball
Recognise
rose
that
up out
you're
of the
using a
water,
tactic
and the water
to make a dishonest
fell off.
argument.
The truth is that water is level. The dishonesty lies
You're
with
using
you,
a tactic.
brother. The dishonesty lies with you because you cannot.
Why are you
show
asking me to
this
show you
incredible
something when
claim.
we're stood in the street?
Well, if
Why
you've
is
never
that?
tested
Why
for
is that
curvature-
the thing I need to do to move forward in this argument? Is magically
There's no
produce
argument.
something to show you.
The magic
That's
here is your
ridiculous.
beliefs. It's only your belief that water's curving around a ball.
No,
and
it's
it gets far.
measured. We measure it.
You haven't measured it.
I don't need to have measured
So
it.
you don't need to measure
No,
something.
I just
So you're
again.
not a scientist. You're a believer
You see, if
in a
you've been
religion.
listening to me, you wouldn't need to be
Brian
repeating
Cox,
it. You just want to talk
Professor
over me.
Dave, is
No
Simon
point.
and Dan also your fan? You're a fan
I
of
didn't
his
say
as
anything
well?
about Simon
Is that
and
where
Dan.
you get your science from? Is
Yeah,
that where
you just
get your
preach.
science from?
Just preach,
People
dude.
on the TV. You
Just
haven't
keep
got out to
preaching.
measure level water.
That's a flat
Don't
earther
come
for
here
you,
with your
preaching.
nasty little attitude, sir.
Preaching.
When you haven't gone to measure the claim.
Preaching.
Measure it.
Preaching.
Go measure water. You know you're not spinning. You think you're spinning. You might be spinning, sir, but none of us are. You may be, but none of us are. This earth is not moving. The air moves. You are not moving.
If you keep preaching it, it'll be true. It makes it true if you
Water is
preach
level
it.
no matter as far as
Well
we can
done.
test it. Lake Bilikol in Russia, 300 miles. It freezes over and it's known to be a skating lake for the winter. All flat, sir.
Wow.
But that's further than you can see. But as far as you can see, it's curving.
delusional.
So that's why you never want to go measure it. You'll
You're just
never go
deluding
measure
yourself,
it.
dude.
Because you do not want to know that the Shroud of Turin is not proof that Christ walked on water. That does not prove Christ walked on water, but if you were a
He's your
Christian,
guy.
as you are a Gravitonian and a Newtonian and a Darwinian, you will continue not to test what we can obviously see, that water is level on every scale that we can possibly measure it. So go home with your tiny little religion, because you're not welcome here with your
I'm not the
stinky
one
attitude
preaching, you
and
are.
your continuation
You're preaching.
of the
Not
brainwashing
me.
of humankind.
You are preaching.
are contributing to the brainwashing of
Flat
humanity.
Earth preacher.
You're a sad little man. It's time for you to leave stage.
I'm not going to
exit.
leave on your command.
Oh no, please don't leave on my command. But you know, perhaps if you
You
want to
should
go,
stop- you should
back
stop
up the globe,
preaching.
That's back up the globe that way, sir, and that's down the globe that way. It'll be much easier
Stop
for you to walk down the
bullshitting
globe.
people. Stop deluding yourselves
level means
with
level.
daft things like
Why
Nathan
don't you
Oakley's
Level.
daily
ask
acclamations.
government to stop bullshitting people?
What?
Yeah, government,
Why don't you ask
your
the
religious
government to
masters.
Oh, I do. I do ask them to stop bullshitting people over real things that
That's
are
like
real.
wiping your ass with your finger,
Not
sir.
over
That's
pretend
that's
flat
no,
earth.
halfway good
Bullshit.
enough. You don't yet want to know that most of everything we've been taught is a lie. Most of the things that are in the news
Dude,
are
look, there's
propaganda.
nothing you can tell me that I won't have heard before. I promise you that.
So then why haven't you gone to check for curvature at 8 inches per
I know
mile squared?
all about conspiracy theories. I'm an expert in conspiracy theories.
Well, some of the best brains can get caught up in certain nets. And this globe liar that you're caught up in is a very powerful net. And it's got you trapped, my brother. And I hope for
I think
God's
you
sake
guys
that
are
you find
trapped.
your way
You're
out.
trapped by internet loons who you've believed and now you cannot stop believing. Because you've committed yourself to this loony idea and you've got no way out of it.
We can say the same to you.
Well,
prison planet.
I have evidence, I have measurements, I have everything I
measurement
need
of the curvature.
to hold what
No
I hold
measurement
to
of
be
curvature.
true. And
No
what you have is a
measurement
few
of
silly
curvature.
internet
There was
videos
zero
by
measurement
people
here,
like
as he
yourself
said,
that don't even
curvature.
understand the basics.
You won't measure curvature because it's not
Anyway.
there.
Listen.
You don't want to look, sir, but there's nothing down below.
I told you, we measured.
He doesn't want
Yeah,
to
but
look.
you don't know what you're measuring. You don't know the basics. You know
basics
enough
of
to
your belief.
fool yourself. And that's sad. That really is sad.
It's sad when you just follow the BBC all the time, isn't it?
When you do
and
what?
The mainstream media and Google, and you rely on what Google tell you. That's sad. And you don't do your own research because that's
Well-
sad. You're just lazy.
Well, I believe what the evidence says. I go with evidence.
Exactly, laziness. You haven't done your own research. We've done our own research. Okay?
Yeah,
Anyway,
Google's
I will
great.
move on now. I
Off you
will
go.
move on now.
Have a nice day,
Because
sir.
I've
Have a really nice
probably
day.
ruined the
Hope
party
you
for
find
you.
a level playing field somewhere.
Yeah. See you, Jason. We could talk longer if you want.
No, it's fine.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for stopping by.
See you later.
Thanks for stopping by. Don't fall off the ball.